I'm Denham Holt. I'm a senior at North Central High School. I run the 400 meter. I have the school record at North Central with the 47.63, which was the fastest time in Indiana last year. I placed third in the Indiana State Championships last year. I'm qualified for New Balance Nationals outdoor. We won the 4x4 with me at anchor. I'm a MIC champion. I won the MIC last year. I have the county record. I was a county champion, regional champion as well, 4x4 regional champion, 4x4 MIC champions, team MIC champions, team sectional champion 4 years in a row. So list goes on and on.
The list goes on and on. You read
Right.
our minds and what we were going to say. How do you choose the 400, right? People don't usually, that's an event.
Yeah.
Athletes
The
are usually
man's
like, you
race.
want me to do what? Right. You want me to do what? The
Yeah.
400?
I kind of chose it myself. It was in eighth grade. Nobody really wanted to run it. And I'm not really like a short sprinter. We had two short sprinters on the team already. I was just like, you know what? I'll run the 400. Track had got canceled my seventh grade year because of COVID, so I didn't get to run seventh grade. So then when eighth grade started, I was just bored and ran cross country. So I already had a lot of stamina going into the track season. And then I knew I was kind of fast, so I just felt like the 400 was perfect. So I just hopped in there, no regrets, never looked back since.
Okay. Look, that's the type of athlete coaches like,
Right. Like I'll do it. I'm going. I'm do what I have to do.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So outside the 400, do you run the 2 or the 8 or anything like that? Do you bounce around a little bit, or is just mainly the 4 is your jam?
Just mainly the four. Last year I ran the 200 twice. I plan to run the 200 more this year just to get some foot speed, just to get faster for the 400. But I plan to run the two this year just to be more versatile for going into college and, just to have some fun my senior year, get another event under my belt.
Yeah. Well, speaking of college,
Mm.
what are we already signed? We already committed. What are we looking at when it comes to college?
Yes, I signed to DePaul University in Chicago. Go Blue Demons. I signed November
Yeah.
13th, the first signing day. Very excited to get to work with the team. I went on my visit in September. I loved it. He was probably one of the first coaches I talked to in my recruiting process over the summer. And I just fell in love with it over there. I love the coach, love the atmosphere, love the campus. Just a very perfect fit.
Yeah, you
Oh,
love the
shout
city.
out.
Yeah.
You're
We
my
love it.
stomping
I'm
grounds. You love the city.
right.
That's what
Yeah.
got you.
That's
Uh,
cool. I'm sure that puts you in a state of peace of mind and you can really focus in, don't have to worry about where you're gonna go. And so congratulations on
Thank
that
you.
coming to DePaul and we looking forward to seeing you. So
Thank you.
Denham, you had a lot of accomplishments, right? Who's been your biggest inspiration in the sport, the track and field?
I feel like my biggest inspiration is my dad. He ran track in college. I was never a track guy when I was younger. I always played basketball my entire life. When I got to middle school, I was like, what, I'll just try track. And then, he's just always been with me, my biggest supporter since I've been here, like since I've been running. Really, my whole family, but my dad, he knows track a lot. So after meets, before meets, he'll give me a text, a motivational text, and I do it for him, really. So just seeing a smile on his face, he sees his son being successful in the sport he did when he was younger and when he was in college. So just seeing a smile on his face, it makes me happy.
That's awesome. Now
yeah.
give us your dad's name. We always want to shout out the parentals when we can. So give us his name.
My dad is Richard Holt. Some people call him Ricky. He ran at Ball State a while back. I don't even know what year, but he ran the 100.
Ah, gotcha. Now you're going to college. That means you obviously did a pretty decent job at balancing academics with the athletics.
Mm.
What's your secret there when it comes to balancing those two?
Really no secret. I just know academics come first. I kind of enjoy doing schoolwork, I guess. So I kind of just get it done at school. It kind of like, I just feel happy, just getting my schoolwork done during the day. Even before the meeting, I have finals tomorrow. So studying for finals before I do anything really. And then, track, we have practice kind of late at like 5:30. So before I go into practice, I'll, just study or knock some homework out really quick to just stay on top of my work.
How do you think like you understanding you're a student first before you're an athlete? How do you think that's going to help you when you transition to college?
I think that will help a lot. Just understanding I'm a student because I won't have to be as stressed, doing meets and then going to school, like going to meets and then realize after the meet, oh, I have schoolwork. Those meets end really late. So just staying on top of my schoolwork and not having to be stressed after, especially running the 400. Last thing on your mind is doing schoolwork. So trying to knock that out before my races. Meets are long, so staying on top of meets in college, when you travel in the hotel, doing homework on the bus and hotel rooms. So I think it will just prepare me for forever, really, to just be responsible on top of my work.
Yeah, and then when it comes in terms of you said, running a 400 and all that, how do you mentally prepare for that? Because you say, well, running a 400, you don't want to be thinking about schoolwork.
Mm.
Mentally, when you comes game time, so to speak, when it comes time to race, how do you mentally prep yourself? How do you get ready for those days where you're going to be running at least two 400s because you have a 4x4 in the open?
Mm.
What's that like for you?
It's kind of hard. My thing is try not to think about it, just clear my mind. It's going to hurt. So that's what we train for. You train for the lactic, it's going to hurt at the end. So my mind kind of just goes blank when I'm racing. I just put my trust in my body and my training. Like I know I've been here before. I do this in practice. So just go out there and just run, just go, try to win. So I try to clear my mind, have a clear mind. I feel like when my mind is clogged, I feel like bad things happen when my mind is clogged. When my mind is clear, I race very well. I'm more open. I can breathe. It doesn't hurt as much at the end. So just trying to clear my mind as much as possible before the race.
You got the secret sauce when it don't doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt as much. So then you've been running for quite some time since middle school, like you said, and so in that, like you're very successful now. Tell us how you've handled any setbacks you've had in your performance.
I've had major setbacks, actually. I had surgery on my knee my sophomore year. So that was my first. I think I ran state my sophomore year. I went to state. I was in the second heat of the 400. Came back 2 weeks later to go play basketball. I've been playing my whole life. And I dislocated my knee and had surgery. And, it was tough. I was out for 6-7 months, just trying to get back. It takes a toll on your mental. It takes a toll on your physical. But my biggest thing was just like, I just have to get back, like I can't focus on what I did in the past. I just have to, just take it one day at a time and look ahead. So even when I came back that year, I had to do a time trial with my teammates and I was nervous. Like I was the fastest on the team last year in the 400 and I was nervous against three guys that I've previously beaten before. Like they gave me competition in practice. So, that was tough for me mentally, but I came back stronger than ever. My coaches, Coach Casey and Coach Guiley, they supported me every step of the way. My friends and family supported me every step of the way. So I feel like just having a big support system, even when you have a setback, is I feel like that's the biggest thing. It's not all about you. Having people you can lean on when you have a setback, that's the biggest thing.
Cool. Now, with that's a great perspective to have because, and a lot of people always think that when they're the only one rehabbing, so it's only about me.
Mm-hmm.
I had a similar situation, but mine was a little bit different. Sophomore year, I was injured, and then it was instead of it being about me, the coach was like, "Oh no, this is you about us." Like it was playing basketball during the basketball season.
Mm-hmm.
Kneecap tried to dislocate. I was like sophomore. I'm like, I'm trying to go home. It's a basketball game. The basketball coach was like, stay for the varsity game. Huh? I'll see you whenever I get back from the hospital. I'm out of here. But it's
Right.
yeah. I've obviously had some successes when it comes to track and field. What is it like for you when it comes to competition? How do you view your competition? I'm asking you a two-part question here. How do you view your competition for one? And then on the other side of that, how is it that you deal with your successes and your disappointments?
I view my competition. I view it as anybody can beat me. It can be anybody's day. Don't take this sport for granted. Track will humble you really fast. You can learn that really quick. Even though I was fast in the state, I got third at state last year. So just staying hungry. But I view my competition as anybody can beat me. It can be anybody's day. Whether body not feeling good, this sport will humble you really fast. So I never try to look at anybody as below me or anything. I feel like if you're in the same heat as me, we are even. So it can be your day at any time. But yeah, that's how I view my conversation. When I have a victory, I try to just stay level headed because I know I have a second 400 coming up. So 4x4. So I try to just stay level headed. If I win the individual, next race, you can't linger on it too long. When you lose, I mean, it's tough, especially you feel like you have a target on your back. I had the fastest time last year. So just, I know I have a target on my back every race. When I lost, obviously it's disappointing, but I feel like I came back pretty fast, always just next race mentality. When I lost in state last year, came in third, I was just like, you know what, we got to get it back for the 4x4. I still have time to be a state champ. So just can't linger on the last race. I always look towards the next race.
Awesome. Got to play that one on rewind when people view this. For
Right.
sure, for sure. I mean, that's showing you really have good sportsmanship too, even knowing like, look, when I step out there, everyone, we're all equal on any given day. Anyone can get beat. That's my mantra. That's what we tell our athletes. And so, what would you say keeps you motivated, right? Like, because the track season can be very long. What keeps you motivated through those training sessions and through those hard practices or those days where you really just don't feel like giving it your all?
Mm. Well, last year for me, my junior year, it was coming off of surgery. I was like, I can't go back to that. We've come this far. You know, you got to keep going. We came this far. I know it's tough, but you just came off of surgery. You were out for 6 months. You just got to keep running, bro. Like 6 months ago, you couldn't even walk. So the fact that we're here running right now, I thought it was just a blessing. So that was my motivation last year. And then this year is just getting to college. I feel like even though I signed, I can't relax. I still have to prove to my coach, like, I'm ready to run. Like, I will be on your 4x4 next year. So I just have to prove to him that I'm ready to come in and make an impact immediately.
Awesome.
I like that because a lot of people they do fall off and they're like, I
Yeah,
signed, I'm good, I can show up and
right.
do whatever. But yeah, we expect to be you ready. Give us an excuse to go to Chicago. I could use one
Right,
too.
right. Ready. All the way ready. All the way
Yeah.
ready.
So being that you've had the injury, right?
Mhm.
And so you know what that's like. What do you do now to kind of help yourself stay healthy physically and to prevent any type of future injuries?
Just staying in the weight room, really. Last year wasn't in the weight room as much. This year, I got a weights class in my schedule. Been lifting with Coach Corbin. We lift in the mornings on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Just being mindful of my body, when it sends a signal that like it's hurt or like you can't keep going through like little pain. Like you have to just be open to your coaches, communicate with them, communicate with Miho, the trainer. Just being very open about what's going on with your body, being mindful of what you eat, just like what you go through during your day, just being mindful of all of that.
What would you say is some of the best advice a coach has given you?
This is a tough question. I feel like the best advice I think I've been given, even though it was kind of like, I guess you could say cocky of the coach, but just trust me, trust your training. I feel like that's the best advice. Just trusting,
Yeah,
trusting the process and trusting what your coach is giving you, because they're not going to tell you anything wrong. Obviously if they do something and you go out there, try it, you don't like it, you can be open and communicate. I feel like I have that relationship with my coaches. I can be open and communicate with them if I didn't like something or if we need to tweak this a little bit, but really just trusting your training and trusting your coaches. That's my biggest advice.
love that.
Yeah, that is huge because a lot of people don't, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things you can throw in there in your mix in terms of prevention and being healthy is chiropractic.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
completely biased on that, but I'm going to say it anyway. There's a chiropractor down the street from you if you ever
yeah,
need it. Okay.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yes.
Got
So where's
it.
Dr. J to the rescue?
When it comes to your competing in track and field, what is your thoughts on how it how it may be preparing you for college, for life after college when it goes into the workforce? Like, what are some of the values, characteristics, things that you picked up being a track and field athlete that you think translate well or may translate well into life?
First thing I feel like is discipline. Just you have to have the correct form, or just like doing a hard workout, you have to push through it. Being disciplined to come to practice on time. I feel like that's the first thing, discipline, and then the other thing is track is a no cut sport in high school, so you deal with all aspects of life. People who aren't as good, or people who come from different situations as you, and dealing with them, learning how to talk to them. Being a senior this year, learning how to lead them. I feel like that's the biggest thing. You deal with everybody, especially like there's a big divide between distance and sprints. So, dealing with everybody, being diverse culturally, people coming from different living situations, like I said, or being in school, just different just different everything, just no cut sport, like I said. So yeah, I feel like that's the biggest thing. Very diverse in the track and field world.
What advice would you give to a younger athlete or someone who's interested in running track?
I would say just stay the course. You're going to have tough days. You're going to have good days. It's a roller coaster for these 4 years of high school. Just stay the course. It will get better. My freshman year, I wasn't even the fastest 400 runner on the team. It was my friend Corbin Butts. But just keep working. Stay the course. This isn't like at the end of the day, it's just track, man. It's 4 months. You don't have to put so much stress on it. Just trust. Like I said, trust your training, trust your coaches, and it will all work out.
Now, with the success you had, how do you balance like your personal goals with team goals? Like, how does that balance out for you?
I feel like I balance it pretty well. For my personal goals, this year I want to break the state record. I feel like it's on my board. I write it down. I have it on my lock screen. That's one of my personal goals. And then balancing that with my team goals, I feel like if I run well, I know I run the 4x4. So last meet of the event, sometimes the meet comes down to the 4x4. So just run. If I run well, I feel like the team can run well, and just having some like it'll put some confidence into the team. Going to cheering on other events too, going to long jump, high jump, cheering them on after your race. Even if you're tired, just try to support your teammates well, because even though you run individually, your teammates are in this as well. Especially with North Central, we just run 3 times sectional championship, so we're trying to go for 4. So just being supportive of all your teammates, even after you run. That's my biggest thing.
If you could change anything about the sport, what would it be and why?
Specifically, Indiana, add more events like the 4x. I feel like the 4x2 needs to be a thing outdoor.
Yes.
No triple jump, but we don't have any triple jump in here. But
You need
uh,
another
yeah, I would say
Right.
that's another thing we need. And then
Yes.
I feel like we need more, just more spotlight on us and people coming to meets. I know it's long meets, but you know, I feel like that's one thing we could change, just having a bigger spotlight on us, more TV time, more fans, everything.
Right.
for sure.
So what's something you're looking forward to this upcoming season?
This season, more home. We didn't have a single home meet last year.
Okay.
So Charlie Riley being at home,
Right.
more home meets this year. And then it's our senior year. So running with guys that I've been running with since middle school, finishing the season out with them, even against at like other schools, teams that I've raced against my entire track career, seeing them succeed. That's my big, like, I love that. Seeing other teams succeed, especially with people that I've been running with since I was 13, 14 years old. I love that.
Well, then if people want to follow you and keep up with you this track season, how would they be able to do that? Where should they look? What is it Instagram or X that they call it now?
Yeah.
Where should they be following you?
My Instagram is denham.holt, denhm.holt. And then my Twitter is the same. It's just an underscore. So denham_holt, denhm_holt.
Well, we
Awesome.
appreciate you joining us.
No
Yes.
problem. Thank
And
you
we
guys for
are
having me.
excited. Yes, and we are excited to see you
Thank you.
go off this year.
Thank you.
Yes.